Elena said, "Forget peace brunch. We're serving petty with a side of pink dog and bunk beds." Drew pulled up with a martini glass purse and started manifesting being Michael Jordan's cousin. Angela said, "Girl, bye," and kept the chaos coming. Meanwhile, Ralph left court laughing while Drew yelled out the window that he's a dumbass. And somehow we ended the night in rhinestones, hats, dodging bunk beds, and debating Dennis' definition of cheating.
Yeah.
Because apparently, she just gave me head, doesn't count for Dennis. This episode had everything: Ferraris, fake cousins, and emotional damage wrapped in designer bags. Listen, go grab your snacks, grab your drink, and grab that blunt. Because reality right after starts now. Joining me tonight is someone whose tweets have more reach than Ralph's lies, for real. You know him, you've reposted him, and have you ever been dragged by him? Well, say thank you. He's the unofficial mayor of Black Gay Twitter, the one and only Kary Jackson. Hi, Kary.
What's going on? That is some intro. I appreciate it.
I am so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
No, thank you for coming on my show, for real. Like, it really means the world to me. I follow you on Twitter for the longest. We became Twitter friends. And you have some of the best takes about Real Housewives. I mean, they always go viral. You always end on the Shade Room and all of the vlogs. It's like weekly.
Like once a week. I literally like once a week. Once a week.
How? Like, I've always wanted to know, how does it feel? Your inner thoughts that you're putting on social media. Of course, at this point, you're kind of used to it, but
yeah,
your thoughts, your opinions go viral. But usually, the moment they go viral, they're also open to scrutiny and people's negative. How do you deal with all of that?
So, I mean, I've been on Twitter. Well, I'll use Twitter. I've been on Twitter since 2009. So, I feel like I've built like some thick skin. I think once I realized that, hate for lack of better words, like have a voice. I understand that everybody isn't gonna like my opinion or like something that I say, but at the end of the day, like this is just like the internet, you know. So it's like nothing that's like serious to me. Like anybody who disagrees with my opinion, like it's not like I'm gonna see them tomorrow and they're gonna be like, "Well, hey, you said this." You know, it's not. It's never anything like serious like that for me. So I tweet and I go. I don't really pay too much mind to like the outside chatter. Now, if I have time, I definitely will go back and forth with
We
you.
know.
Like if I'm bored or you know, I'll definitely like entertain it. But for the most part, it's literally just me like tweeting my opinion, tweeting my thoughts, things that I would you know share within like my own like group chats and my phone and stuff. But it's just
Right.
Twitter, so. Yeah, I'm used to it now at this point.
Well, listen, you are you are one of those follows that I always polish because I'm telling you, you make me laugh so
I
much.
appreciate it.
And keep doing it for
Thank
real.
you so
But
much. I appreciate it.
before we get into this court documents and bunk beds, be real. Will you have gone on this trip knowing that Drew was crashing the party?
If I was one of the other ladies, would I've gone on the trip? I mean,
Or Portia?
I probably would have went just to like see what unfolds.
Right.
But I would stay neutral. At the end of the day, it's not my birthday, so I got my invite. So I'm here because the person who threw the party wanted me to be here.
Right.
So you know, I would definitely go. But I definitely thought it was a little bit messy for Angela to extend an invite to Drew. It was giving me season 4 when Nene brought Marlo to Africa with them.
Yeah. And they was pissed.
Yes, and they were all upset, like because Marlo wasn't invited and Nene brought her anyway. So it was
But
definitely.
then that gave us the famous.
Yeah, exactly. It made for great TV, and I'm pretty
Right.
sure. I'm pretty sure next week it's gonna be a whole shit show.
Right.
But I mean, we understand how these things work, so
Right.
I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of unfolds next week.
Right. Well, we don't ease into this episode. Britt kicks off by sitting down with Mike and dropping a bombshell.
Yeah.
Rumors are swirling that Angela's husband, Charles, allegedly had a baby outside of their marriage. She
Hmm.
says, and I quote, she want to question my career and throw dirt on my name, but maybe she should be focused on her own man.
Right.
Britt is currently still reeling from Angela's dig about her insurance license being under investigation. She calls Angela cold, not a girl's girl, and lacking empathy.
Yeah.
She's not just mad, she's ready for war.
Yeah.
From there, she takes Mike's Ferrari shopping and climbs into one with a full attitude and
Yeah.
tossing her leg up.
She was
Mike
doing
is
a lot.
really she was doing a lot.
She was
Mike
doing
is
a
not
lot.
really having it for real. And she's looking at cars that are like $400,000. I'm like, okay, Britt, you can
Yeah.
afford that?
Right.
Mm.
They I hate to say this, but they kind of give me scammer vibes, but they ain't got nothing, it doesn't have anything to do with me. Get it how you live. But
Right.
something's very very scammerish about them for some reason to me.
Well, that's kind of like the little situation that the little shade and little
Yeah.
dirt that's being thrown on Twitter, and
Right. Yeah.
everybody's saying that around, and some people from Atlanta and some of the housewives have kind of like thrown that little bone too, and it's making
Yeah.
everybody question like, oh, was the scammers that they was talking about Brit?
Yeah.
It's a lot going on.
It is. Yeah.
Our friends over at No Chaser TV did a story the other day where one girl that used to be like a mentee of Brit came out saying that she was under her model agency and she paid them like $400 to $500 for a package, and she was supposed to get all of these things, and that after she paid, she never heard from it, allegedly, from Brit and her team. It was a lot of mess.
Yeah.
So now, is Britt finally stepping into her power, or is she just trying to be messy and be in the mix by throwing this thing about Angela?
I'm I'm still trying to figure Brit out. Like it's been what, like 5 episodes now, and I'm still trying to like figure her out. Like
Seven with this one.
oh, what's it? Yeah. So I'm still trying to like figure out like what's her MO. I'm trying to go in with like an open mind and not try to like judge too prematurely. But yeah, the jury's still out on her for what with me at least. The jury's still out on her, so I'm still trying to like get a feel for her. But I'm loving the other new additions to the cast.
So I have a question for you, because it's really like the hot talk in town, obviously. How do you feel about the whole Kenya situation, her being let go from the show?
I had this conversation like 10 times.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I feel like I answered this question. Like, everybody wants to know, like, how people feel.
Right.
Um, I'm trying to understand both sides, but the side that I go with is it just being really, really beneath Kenya. Like, Kenya's been on this platform for over a decade. Like, I feel like she is one of the masters at like playing dirty and keeping it in a way where it's still tasteful. It still makes great TV. And I just think those images were just like she took it to hell. Like there's absolutely no defending that at all. And I hate that she felt like she had to do that. I feel like if she had talked it over with someone who had like a level head, i.e. Cynthia, if she had told her, this is what I'm thinking about doing, I'm pretty sure.
Which is what Cynthia says she was hoping that
she talked to her. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cynthia could have talked her off the ledge and, gave her another idea to do it, or just maybe wait and do it or not even do it then, but like do something at a different time. Like this is literally the launch of a business that you put your blood years in, and you made that entire moment about somebody else who wasn't even in the room at the time.
At all.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look in my opinion. I can't get past it, and I don't know why she thought that was a great idea.
And did you think that when Brit said like I got pistol for bitches like you, which is what Kenya says that Brit said to her, like did you actually think like this was a threat, or like how did you take that comment about the pistol?
So I think for me, because I'm from the South, and
Mm-hmm.
I know people will use certain phrases, I guess, to kind of initiate like a threat, or
Mm-hmm.
I guess try to warn people like not to mess with them. So I've been around places like growing up, people was like, I got a pistol in my, and they don't really have a pistol. It's just more so of
Mm-hmm.
like, don't mess with me. This is a warning. If I need to go and get my pistol, I will, but I'm letting you know that I may or may not have it. So,
Right.
don't mess with me. So I don't think that in my heart of hearts, I do not think that Britt had a physical gun and was about to go to her car and get to shooting. I don't think she was about to do that. I think it was just in the heat of the moment with emotions and feeling slighted, being called a peasant, like she was trying to get her one up. And
Right.
she just happened to say it while she was mic'd, and it kind of, you know, speared the way it went. But I don't think she had a pistol.
Yeah, listen, I kind of agree with you. I don't think that Britt had a pistol and was about to like shoot up the entire bank while everybody was at dinner.
Exactly. Like,
Bravo production, like, come on, like,
yeah,
these are people that go through a background check, and certain aspects of regulations before they're
right.
even casted. So,
Exactly.
come on now.
Yeah.
But also, I also agree with you. Like, listen, I'm from the hood, so
Yeah.
sometimes like we be outside and let's say it's some crazy movement and it's
Yeah.
like, but I'm strapped, so let's
Yeah.
go. That doesn't
Exactly.
mean you actually strapped. Like, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So
Exactly.
I did also take it that way, and when I was discussing it in my circles, I was saying, like, to be honest, it's just kind of like a saying. It's crazy
Yeah.
to say,
It's
but
crazy to say.
it's kind of like a saying,
Yeah.
a way of saying that you're ready to protect yourself or defend yourself.
Exactly. I'm ready for whatever you got. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I just feel
But
like she didn't really have it.
at the same time, just to play devil's advocate, because the castmates will literally eat me up if I don't play devil's advocate. She should have known that saying something like that to a girl like Kenya was
Exactly.
not going
Yeah.
to be minimal.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
Kenya is not that type of girl, and she don't play
Exactly.
those
Yeah,
games.
she doesn't take anything light, and if you take it there, she's gonna absolutely go to hell. And whatever that means for her, whether it's a prop or a scepter, a fan,
Right.
like whatever it is, she's gonna take it to hell. So yeah, it was an unfortunate situation because I really really wanted to see Kenya and Portia on screen together after
Yeah.
all these years of like the beef and the frenemies, and one season we're friends, one season we're not. I felt like they were like in a mutual good
This
place.
year was going
Yeah,
to be that
it was gonna
year.
be that year that we were gonna see them like be like really really good friends and
Right.
explore that friendship on camera. I was actually really really looking forward to seeing that this season, and it's unfortunate that it went down the way it did.
No, I agree with you too. And we saw that in the lunch that they had, and then we
Yes.
also saw that when they left the bank. Portia
Yeah.
told Kenya,
Like,
"Girl,
get
you
in the
want to
car.
ride home? Get in the car."
Exactly. Like,
And they was
you can
kikiing down,
tell.
talking shit in the car.
Yeah. Like, I feel like this
So
is gonna be really, really good, like good buddies this season. It's unfortunate we
yeah,
didn't get a chance to see it.
I know. I agree. I agree with you. Well, back to the episode.
Oh, but
Because we started chapping, yo.
right. Okay.
So Angela welcomes Drew in. Drew is rocking a whole martini glass purse.
Yeah.
Very
She was
hot,
cute. She was
very
cute.
it girl.
Yeah, she was very cute.
Drew says she's trying to manifest being Michael Jordan's cousin. And Angela had to clock her. She's like, "Girl, I talked to the family, and they said
Right.
they don't know you."
Exactly. And the thing is, like, the basketball wise, whether they're like have like a direct line or even just adjacent, like they know people.
They know
So
each
you
other.
can't say to a ex teammate of Michael Jordan that you're related to Michael Jordan without his ex teammate's wife doing the Carfax and being like, this girl talking about she related to y'all, and they're like, I don't know Drew Sador or Drew
Right.
Jordan, like I don't know who that is, like. You can't do that. So
Right.
I was like, why does she even say that? She just
And
lied
the,
because the sun is up.
and then Drew literally on the spot, it's like, well, no, I did tell you that was a joke.
You
And then
didn't.
production flashbacks to the entire scene, and Drew never mentions that
Never.
that was a joke.
No.
So I listen. A lot of people say Drew is, the Mia of Potomac. But I gotta say, like, Drew makes me laugh.
No,
Like, Drew.
her lies are funny because they're so dumb. Like it's the dumbest things to lie about. Like who would lie and say that Michael Jordan is their cousin? Like
And then lie about lying about it.
yeah, and then lying about like saying, "Oh, I was just playing." You weren't just playing. You literally told us your maiden name is Jordan. Like her lies are funny though because they're so stupid. I enjoy Drew
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, no, for real. And like, the girls try to hate, but listen, Drew has been on this show now for some time and she
Yeah.
survived a couple shakeups.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah, she
clearly
survived.
production is happy with Drew and is happy with what she has been bringing to the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and talking about that, Angela starts talking about Shamia's peace brunch and how the food wasn't really that great, throwing some shade a little bit. Drew is trying to like not really do too much because she's friends with Shamia.
Yeah.
And then they talk about the whole Portia of it all and
Yeah.
how Drew is not fucking with Portia. What do you think about this Portia and Drew drama?
So I feel like that storyline. I feel like they're trying to force it. Like I feel like it's really not that big of a deal. If first of all, I didn't even know that Dennis had the capabilities to
Produce music.
or do anything in the music world at all. I know Dennis from being the hot dog man and
Right.
the hookah man that has the lounge. That's all I know Dennis to be. I did not know he dabbled in music. But I feel like if Drew made attempts to tell Portia about like them working together, I just feel like I feel like it wasn't a big deal. Like it just wasn't a big deal. I don't know why Portia's trying to make it a thing. I don't think Drew has any like ill intentions with working with Dennis. He obviously sees something in Drew. He obviously was able to produce a full length album for this girl, so he clearly knows what he's doing in some
And
capacity.
also, it's not bad. No
Yeah, I
shade.
listened to the album. She has some several bops on the album. So I was like, I mean, Dennis knows what he's doing. Apparently, they seem to make great music together. I didn't see it
And
really
have a good relationship.
a good relationship. Like I don't think Drew is malicious in that way to try to like do anything with Portia's baby daddy. I don't think
Yeah.
that malicious to do it.
And that storyline is so far fetched. Like, come on, like
Yeah.
that's another world, another timeline where
Yeah.
like because that's a level of breaking girl code that I don't even think Drew is capable of.
Yeah.
And I don't even think she
Now
would even
currently,
want,
boom,
you
right
know,
there.
like
Like
I
now,
don't,
2025, I don't think so. Maybe 10 years ago, maybe if she felt like she could use Dennis to like come up in some kind of way. But it's
right.
like now she's going through a whole divorce on TV. It's not a good divorce. Like there's
And
so
you know how
many.
y'all like to call Real Housewives loving hip hop sometimes? That would have been some loving hip hop mess.
No, yeah, that storyline is absolutely a loving hip hop storyline. Like I don't think Drew wants Dennis in any kind of sexual way at all.
You
Now,
know?
Dennis may have some improper thoughts about Drew. Drew's a very pretty girl. She's gorgeous. She has a nice body. So Dennis being Dennis, I'm pretty sure
Right.
he's had an improper thought or two about Drew, but has he acted on it? Highly doubt. Has Drew acted on anything? Highly doubt. I would be okay leaving them in a room together and nothing happening.
Yeah, and from what we've seen from scene to scene, everything's been cool, everything's been respectful, everything's been
Exactly.
very much like work relationship. So
Exactly.
so good, so far so
So
good.
good. Exactly. Yeah, I don't think that. I think they need to just dead that really and just move on because it's not an issue.
Well, over at Kelly's house, Kelly's got her sister over. Cynthia also arrives. But let's talk about Cha Cha. Kelly's pink dyed dog with a literal ponytail. She explains the trauma. She says that Cha Cha was stolen 4 years ago, and that since then she dyes her pink with vegan cruelty free dye. She had to add that because she
She had
knew
to
that
add
Peter
that.
was coming for them.
I was say,
She
you
knew.
know, pet parents like myself are. I was like, I don't like when people do that to their dogs. I really don't. And it
A
could
lot of
be,
people, a lot of people were saying that.
yeah, like it could be, cruelty free or vegan or all that stuff like that. Like dogs aren't meant to be pink and purple and blue. Like they're not meant to be that color. So
Right.
why are you coloring your dog pink? I don't know, but if she like
And
it,
I
I
feel
love
like
it.
there could have been also different ways of like self-identifying your dog than
Exactly.
doing that much
Yeah.
dye.
Like there's
Like
clothes. You can put
at least
clothes
though, at
on.
least just the tail or something. Like
Yeah,
you
like a
fully dye your
tail.
dog.
Yeah, I mean, bandana. Like they have all kind of accessories that you can use to identify your dog. But
Right,
whatever
right.
makes her happy, I guess.
Well, Cynthia shares that she's newly single and she's running down some of her non negotiables: no smokers, no vegans, no bad hygiene, must work out, must be mentally stimulating, etc., etc.,
I
etc.
think the list was actually not bad at all.
It
I think a
wasn't.
lot of those are just like basic things that you would want in a partner. Like
Right,
the vegan thing, like everybody's not vegan, and I'm not a vegan, so I'm gonna have me a piece of chicken every now and then. So
right.
if that's too much for you, then maybe we're not gonna be able to work out. But I gotta have my chicken and my fish and my turkey. But yeah,
Right.
I feel like her list was very normal. Like it was
I
really.
agree. And listen, after you've been with someone like Peter, someone like Mike, like
Yes.
you know what you want.
Yeah.
You know what you want.
Yeah.
So listen, I really hope that Cynthia finds love. I think that
I do
Cynthia
too.
is one of those girls that I just love seeing her in love. I
Me
love
too.
seeing Cynthia
Yeah.
plan a wedding.
Yes.
Like I just love that for her.
Yeah. It's my Pisces
Um,
sister. I love Cynthia so much.
for real. Portia enters, clocking the pink dog on side. What have you done to your dog? She says to Kelly. The combo shifts to the peace brunch. Kelly says Drew and Angela walked in the team twirl. Portia kind of agrees, but she also understands why Britt was triggered. So right now, like kind of like the vibes are kind of like 50-50 between the
Yeah.
women. Like
Hmm.
you kind of see them saying like, we understand why Brit is upset and we
Hmm.
can definitely sympathize with her feelings, but they're also not condemning Kenya
Yeah.
1000%. What
Yeah.
do you think about that dynamic and how they're reacting to what happened at the salon?
You know what? I think because everything is still like so fresh, and
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, whatever happened between Kenya and production and Bravo, they still have to do a job. So the cameras are gonna roll. I hate to use this expression, but like one monkey don't stop no show. So whether Kenya returns to this group or not, we still have to film with each other, and we still have to make this show work for the rest of the season. So I feel like they're trying to maneuver through the situation the best that they can, and still trying to like be supportive, but also still trying to like give entertainment for the audience because the show isn't going to stop because is no longer filming. So I think it's
Right.
still kind of new, but I feel like once they navigate over like the hump, then they'll know how to like move together as a group without having Kenya with them.
Right. It's a very interesting dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like in lieu of that Kenya and Portia relationship that we kind of mentioned earlier is why you kind of see Portia not really wanting to do too much about Kenya or say too
Yeah.
much on the
Hmm.
situation
Yeah.
because maybe like at this point it hadn't been decided yet whether Kenya was gonna keep coming back or
Exactly.
not,
Hmm.
and they themselves were like, what's going on, what's gonna happen, they don't
Yeah.
know.
They didn't know nothing.
So
Yeah.
they definitely feel like it definitely feels like they're walking on eggshells, but I guess their feelings are valid.
Yeah.
um
Absolutely.
Back home, Britt is serious with Mike. She says Angela shading her license was beyond low, especially since it's under a real investigation, and it wasn't just shade, it was a calculated hit. She calls Angela not a girl's girl, then drops the bomb about Angela's, Charles baby.
Yeah.
Um she's being strategic, or she being or just plain shady also.
Um, I think it's shady. So here's the thing. When in that early episode when they were introducing Angela and they were talking about like the break that her and Charles had, I
Right.
immediately put two and two together. I feel like the person with common sense was like,
I
oh,
mean, the moment she said that he like, come on, like she did the little timeline of
right,
ages,
yeah,
like,
like okay, so they both had
okay,
a baby on her.
and she was very clear with saying, and Charles had
Yes.
it, like,
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't rocket science to figure out that they were apart. He had a baby while they were apart. They reconciled, and now they're back together. So I feel like it's not like top secret. Like, I mean, maybe it's not the first thing you know about Angela Oakley when you meet her, but it's just like, oh, Angela Oakley and Charles Oakley. Oh yeah, he had a baby outside her. Like,
Right.
it's not. It's just like around the town talk that it doesn't shock anybody that that's what happened in her family.
Right. Well, listen, if that was a producer that said, Angela, I want you to tell us about your kids from oldest to youngest, that was great
That was
production.
great. Yeah.
That was great production.
Yeah. That was good.
Angela says she brought Brit. Angela says that she thought that Brit would have been more humble about the situation, and instead of being so hyped up when Angela was just asking questions, trying to
Mhm.
really get down to, oh, you really lost your license? Like how? Like I have a
Yeah.
license too. So like they really took your license because of that, which I think is a really general and
Yeah.
consensus. Like I would have reacted that way too.
Yeah, like for real, did that really happen to you? Like,
Right.
yeah, like that's not something to play about. But I also feel like they scammers, so who knows? Let me stop saying it.
Listen, allegedly, right?
Look, allegedly.
So Drew reads out a text from Britt inviting her over for drinks. Angela is still kind of skeptical, and she's trying to like warn her about Britt a little bit. They talk
Hmm.
about Drew's upcoming car date with Ralph. Drew's anxious. She feels like it's her weekend to leave the house. She doesn't want the kids to be one day on Google and seeing the things that are happening with their marriage. She says that they're at this point where like they're gonna go into court and see if one, Ralph is leaving the house,
Hmm.
two, if they're going to unseal the files, and if they are going to unseal the files, then it's a bunch of stuff coming out. The producer asks Drew, if they unseal the files, like, are you worried? And she
Yeah,
says, no, like, there's not really, like, there's more on him than there is on me. But
right.
she doesn't negate the fact that there is stuff on
There's
her.
stuff on her. Exactly. Yeah. Open the files. I want to see everything. Open up the files. I want to see everything.
Open the
See everything.
files.
I want to see everything. I want to see everything.
Well, according to Ralph,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, according to Ralph, there is some proof of Drew's infidelity in the files.
Yeah.
So, what are
I
your
mean,
thoughts?
I feel like they probably were cheating on each other. I feel like Ralph obviously cheated first, and then Drew found out, and then she was trying to get her lick back. So I definitely feel like there's some tit for tat there.
And to
Um,
be honest, probably like, let me give Drew some grace and say that if she did cheat back, I don't even think it was to get her lick back. I think it was because she realized that her marriage was over and she said, let me go be happy.
exactly. It's just like, I know that me and him are not gonna move forward with being husband and wife, so I might as well just do what I want anyway. And their divorce situation is so weird because he's in the basement and then she has to leave the house. Like that, it's so chaotic, and it doesn't have to be chaotic at all.
At all. I'm like, listen, we used to be a proper country. Like
Yeah,
marriages, people used to be able to divorce each other in one household,
yeah,
and it wasn't until literally the last day of the divorce that a parent would move out or
yeah.
something. Like,
It's just it's so chaotic. Like, and I understand I guess obviously this arrangement works for them because they do share kids together.
yeah,
But it's just it's so like when they were going through it, the other episode when she was talking about it's her time to leave the house for a couple. Like, what? I have to leave my house so my soon-to-be ex-husband can spend time with the kids outside of the basement that he lives. Like, what? That is I can't wrap my mind around that at all. I cannot wrap my mind around that.
like I don't even understand why that's like. I mean, she tried to justify the situation, saying that the reason why it's like that is because the court order it so like that Ralph is able to go into their room so that they have
Exactly.
some type of normalcy,
Yeah.
but there
Nothing about that is normal.
nothing about that is
No.
normal,
My
and I don't
mom never
understand
left the
how
house
y'all
for
not
me.
seeing it.
Right.
Like,
That's
how is
insane.
you know?
Hope they work it out.
Well, talking about divorces, Cynthia and Portia link up again. Cynthia checks in on Portia a little bit, and Portia, opens up to Cynthia. They've both been through divorces.
Mhm. Multiple.
It's kind of interesting though because seeing Cynthia and Portia sit down, it feels different. Like it feels fresh. It doesn't even
Yeah,
feel like old school
yeah,
Atlanta.
yeah, yeah,
There's a
yeah,
different like this show has evolved so much that
yeah,
like we're seeing some of the same characters that we love, but we're seeing like evolutions of them.
yeah,
Like I feel like
yeah.
it's not even like, the characters that we fell in love with, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like you, and if you're a hardcore like diehard fan of Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know that Portia and Cynthia they haven't always had the most best seamless friendship. We've definitely seen them have ups and downs throughout the years. So I did really enjoy that moment that they actually sat down and talked about divorces because I do feel like the way their friendship has evolved over time, like they are still like genuine friends, and they
Right.
still really love each other. So I agree. I definitely enjoyed that moment. It definitely felt like old school Atlanta.
Yeah, for real. And Cynthia took also the chance to talk about Drew and check in about how Portia is feeling about Drew.
Hmm.
Portia says, I would not say good, but using very beautiful adjectives.
Yeah.
She says she now sees Drew for who she is and
Yeah.
has no intention of getting close to Drew again. Cynthia clocks that Portia is still talking about Drew a lot though. Like, like if you're
Yeah.
really not worried about her, like then let her
Stop.
go type of,
Yeah. Stop talking about her. Yeah.
And then Portia brings up the fact that she's having a Cowboy Carter themed birthday party and she makes it very clear that Drew is not invited. Let me
That
know
no,
you're bothered without let me know you're bothered.
that Drew is not coming on my birthday trip. I mean, but rightfully so. Like, I'm not gonna invite somebody who I know I don't f with, and I know that person doesn't. Well, I won't say Drew doesn't f with Portia because Drew is trying to make amends. But if I know that I don't f with you and I'm having a birthday trip, you can't look for an invite. Like you absolutely can't look for an invite. So I feel like it was like pretty known that everybody's gonna get an invite except Drew because me and Drew don't f with each other right now.
Right. But you know what? One thing I hate, Kary, when it comes to the housewives, please do not put together trips and then try to disinvite one girl. Like
Yeah.
I
It does give Mean Girl. It does absolutely give Mean Girl. Yeah.
and also like production wise, like girl, this is not your show. This is
Yeah.
not anybody's individual show. We
Exactly.
all watch this show because of all of the women on the
Yes.
show.
It's an ensemble. We all need to be everywhere. And like unless there's a conflict where you just can't be there, like
So when you're going on a cast trip,
yeah.
trying to like purposely disinvite somebody, like to me, like if I was production, I wouldn't even let it happen.
Yeah,
Like
I agree. Production should not let it happen. Like it's in the contract. All cast trips, all cast members need to be on cast trip.
exactly.
How you get there, figure it out.
That's how I feel about it. Like because
Yeah.
you're not about to stop us from shooting what could be an amazing season just because you don't want this. Like and
Because you
also
don't want
it's your job to be in this show
yes, and
with
give us
some girls that you
entertainment.
don't.
Exactly. So Drew, yeah, Drew should have. She should have definitely been included in the trip. But I also understand Push not inviting her because they don't with each other. But you know,
But production said not so fast, Portia. And here comes Angela. Here comes Angela. Tells Drew that she should come to the trip, even though Portia hasn't invited her. And Drew's like, if I'm going, the invite needs to come from Portia.
yeah,
And Angela's like, girl, I'm gonna handle it. Don't worry. Like, just come. Like, don't even worry
yeah,
about it, girl. Like, I'll handle Portia. I'm gonna let her know you're coming and she's gonna be fine with it. And Angela's logic in confessional is like, well, Portia never said that she was not invited. She
yeah.
just
Said that
Drew wasn't in
yeah, she didn't extend the invite to her. That doesn't mean she couldn't come. I just didn't invite.
right. So that and like Angela, I'm really enjoying
No,
Angela for real. Like
I am enjoying Angela. She's definitely won me over the past couple of episodes. Like her timing on certain things that she does, and like her facial expressions, like her little one liners in her. I enjoy Angela a lot. She's funny.
me too. Like at first, you can definitely feel like she was trying to get her feet wet, but then
Yeah,
like now, like episode 7, she's fully
yeah,
throwing
she settled
shade.
in. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I enjoy Angela a lot.
well, we kind of see later the girls head to Nashville, but right before the girls head to Nashville, Drew and Ralph show up to mediation and to court. Drew explains her records are filled with damaging stuff, tracking her, taking money, serial cheating. She wants everything sealed. She says more afraid of Ralph than herself because what's in those files will destroy his reputation, and she doesn't necessarily want her kids to see that.
Yeah.
However, the judge unseals the files. Ralph walks out laughing.
I was so confused by that. He was walking out like he just won the lottery. I don't know. I don't know. I was so confused
Like,
by the smile,
Ralph,
and I was like, what is happening?
your name is being called to the carpet.
Yeah.
I need to hold your hands to the fire because
Yeah.
my boy, I'm sorry, but you're a man. You need to act
Yeah.
better than that.
Yeah,
You need to act better than that. You're going through a divorce with the mother of your kids, and you're laughing your way out of court on national television because
Yeah.
you won a case and you unsealed the files, and now it's a mess gonna come out about her cheating on you, and you're happy about that.
Yeah, yeah. Ralph is he's not a very good man at all.
Like, how are we setting the example for your own son, for your own kids? Like, what are
Exactly.
we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Also, you're treating the mother of your kids. You have daughters. Like, it's just.
Exactly. You do not want any of your daughters dating a man that's like you, or like you treated their mom. You don't yeah, he's not a great example at all.
Drew's yelling out the car window, "You're a dumbass, you're a dumbass, you're a dumbass for what you did in there." She says that he always loved her, according to Ralph.
Yeah.
She says their kids now have to read this forever, and she's like heartbroken
You
about it.
have to see it. Yeah, that part really made me feel some kind of way when she was like yelling at him outside of the car, because you can tell that
Yeah.
she's hurt. Like you can
Yeah.
tell that she like this is really affecting her, like her life. So I definitely felt for her in that moment because you could tell like it's becoming too much at this point.
It is becoming too much. And I mean, listen, in these reality shows, it's you never know because you can open the cameras to your world and Drew gave the cameras her all when it came to her divorce with her man.
Yeah, she gave it.
And
yeah,
now she's kind of suffering the consequences of giving the cameras too much.
Yeah.
And that's why I would say, like, Drew earns her peach because what she be going through with Ralph, one thing that we loved about Atlanta from the old days was the heavy stories that each of these women had with their spouses.
They shared everything.
And at so many of the women have gotten divorced over the years of this show that now we're on we even got used to a little bit of the women, none of them having husbands.
Yeah, none of them being married. Yep.
So when we see Drew having this situation with her husband, soon to be ex-husband, like this is the Roa that kind of raised us. Like this type of storylines. Like, do we remember Peter? Do we remember Nene and Greg early on?
When everybody was married.
Phaedra and Apollo.
Yeah, everybody. Candy talk like everybody had a husband sitting behind them at the reunions.
Todd's mess may not have been with Candy, but it was with Candy's mom.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that was a lot for Candy.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The good old LA.
Portia and Cordell.
We'll never get entertainment like that ever again. So.
Like we've seen some stuff.
Absolutely.
So shout out to Drew for sharing it. I always appreciate a housewife that does that. Well, welcome to Nashville. The ladies land in full Cowboy Carter glam. On the way. It is such a cute concept. I like that, and also the fact that we're about to go on the Cowboy Carter tour.
Exactly.
Like I love when pop culture just. On the way to the house, they're in the Sprinter talking about some of the surgeries that they want to do, and Portia jokes about wanting her breasts done. She says, "Girl, these used to be called Coco and Chanel, and now they Bob and Ben."
I screamed. I absolutely screamed at that because I remember when Portia debuted her titties at that reunion.
So when she said this used to be called Coco Chanel and now they call Bob and Ben, I fell out of my chair.
And her breasts still look really good, so I don't even know what
Right.
she's talking about.
Yo, Portia is a stallion through and through. Like, there's
Yes.
nothing
Her
about
body
that
is
woman that is
her body's banging.
tense.
Yes.
They get to the house. The house is beautiful, but it's a
Beautiful
little
house.
chaotic.
Of course.
One room has 4 beds. One has bunk beds.
And like 3 people get their own room.
And then 3 people get their own room.
Yeah.
Shamia dry humps the bed trying to claim
Yeah,
it.
that would have been me. This is my room. Nobody come here and touch it. Shamia's room is nice. I like her room a lot.
But it's funny because they're looking through it and they're in the basement and then Portia yells, Drew.
Yeah. Of course you're gonna have to throw her shade, not knowing that Drew's about to pop up on this damn trip. And she really is gonna be sleeping in the basement.
Because for real, here comes Angela, shows up. So I invited Drew.
Like, huh?
The room freezes. Everyone is stunned.
Everybody's confused.
They're like, girl, what?
Everybody's confused because everybody knew that Drew was not going to be a part of this trip. Everybody,
Right. And they were kind of seasoned already.
Yeah.
Angela tries to stand firm on it. She says, and I quote, I wear a size 12 shoe so I can stand on my own 2 feet. Portia is over it and she says she's putting Drew in the bunk bedroom and that she really doesn't want to hear from her.
That was funny.
But Portia confides in her friends. She reveals that Angela pressured her to accept Drew into the trip.
Mm-hmm.
And Lauren is like, they start talking shit and they start
Yeah.
talking about Drew. And somehow someone says that Drew sucked some dick.
You know what? It went from 0 to 100 so fast. I was like, how did we go from this to Drew giving fellatio to Dennis? I don't know how we ended up there. Like I said earlier, I don't think that they've done anything sexual with each other. So I don't know how we got from there to here, but I don't even want to.
And you know what? I was actually very like glad that the actual housewives really didn't dig too deep into that whole like Dennis and Drew stuff. Like
Yeah.
when Shamia asked Plain in the premiere and she said, "Have you been sleeping with Dennis?"
Yeah.
After that, they didn't really
Yeah.
like go
'Cause
too
I
deep
don't-
into it.
I don't think
Because no one
anybody-
really believes
nobody
it.
really believes that they're doing anything with each other. Like,
So when one of these girls that is not on the show said like Drew sucked some dick when it came to
Yeah.
Dennis, like to me, I'm like, you see, like this is why I get
yeah,
like
you're looking for a
this
moment
is-
now because you
this
know
is
that
low.
it didn't happen. Like, you know that didn't happen.
Like
right?
you know that didn't happen. So this is just low and like Portia like joked about it a little bit and
Yeah.
says like, well, that's really what Dennis likes, you know, because Dennis has a philosophy. Anytime I ask if he slept with a girl, he says no, she just gave me head,
Gave me head,
because that's the way that he keeps his body count low. I'm like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? How did we get here? Yeah, it was a lot. That the last couple minutes of the episode just went really left.
But what's even more hilarious, and I think that the producers did an amazing job at it, was while Portia is arguing with Angela about inviting Drew to her birthday party,
Yeah.
Drew is in Atlanta at her baby daddy's hookah bar,
Turning up for the album to drop.
turning up and popping bottles that Dennis sent to her table,
To the section, yeah.
celebrating that Drew has a record deal. That was probably finessed by Dennis.
Right. She has no clue that they're having a whole powwow about her coming on this trip, and she is at the hookah lounge getting bottle service.
Like deep poetry
Yeah.
of this damn show. Like,
Yeah.
and then this whole mess is happening in over here
Yeah.
while the girls are like
So much chaos. So much chaos.
chaos.
Yeah.
Shout out to Drew though. She signed her record deal,
Yeah, and I
and
listened to her album it's super cute. Like it's super
yeah,
cute. Yeah, she has some bangers on there. So I hope she gets everything she wants out of her music career. We've obviously seen her do musical stuff like as we've, grown up or whatever.
right.
But yeah, I hope she has a passion for it. I hope she does well in her music career. She has a cute voice. Her album's cute. And I'm interested to see where she goes in her music career. I hope she is doing it for the right reasons.
Right. No, I mean, listen, if some of my castmates might say that I've been too hard on Drew and her music career in past episodes, I did share in a previous episode that I wish that Drew focused more on her acting career rather than her singing career,
Yeah.
because I do feel like she has a very strong foundation in
With
acting.
acting, I totally agree.
And
I
I
agree.
think that Drew can really land a really good role in like a Netflix limited series
Yeah.
and possibly even win an Emmy one day. I really believe that. Like
No,
I
no, I
really,
feel like I feel like Drew is a good enough actress to land roles. Like
right.
not a horrible actress at all. I can definitely see her on like a Lifetime movie or like you said, a
Yeah.
limited series somewhere. Like Drew can act. Yeah, she may be one of those people who, is not trying to put all her eggs in one basket. So
Right, right.
she wants to be, multifaceted like Candy Burrs.
I just it's so hard though. Like to all of the housewives reality stars,
Yeah.
like pursuing the R&B world, like it's hard.
No,
Like I'm
absolutely.
like because you have
Yeah,
Candace on Potomac pursuing her music career as well.
exactly. Yeah.
Shamia also is like starting a little bit too, and
Yeah.
like these women are not like Kim Zolciak's. Like
Yeah.
Kim Zolciak was doing it for the show. She wasn't really
She
doing
was
it
doing it for the show.
because
She didn't
like
seriously want to be a singer. Yeah.
right, like these women are actually trying like doing this even when the cameras are not rolling.
Right. Yeah.
So shout out to them because the R&B world right now is really hard, especially
Yeah.
coming out with that old, not even old school, but that original R&B
Yeah.
sound in these days is really
Yeah.
hard.
And
So,
the music career in general is hard too, especially when people know you from like a specific thing. Like
mhm.
people only know you from reality TV, and that could be any reality TV show. You trying to do something different that people aren't used to seeing you do. It could be very, very tough for that person because they only know this one side of you. They only know you for being on this show on VH1 or this show
Right.
on Bravo. Like, can they take you serious as a singer because they haven't really, seen you do that? So I hope that Drew gets the recognition that she wants from her music career because I do think that her music career is really cute. But like you said, I would love to see her in more acting roles as well because I think she's a great actress.
Right. No, I agree. Well, after this, the ladies, they were outside. They went had some fun. They got on the mechanical bull. They started gigging. This is what I love about Atlanta. Like I do feel like they can go really low and they can really say some things to each other. But one thing that I know that I'm gonna get from an Atlanta episode is full circle, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah. You're going to get
So
some fun
I
somewhere in the episode. Yeah.
Right. One thing that I always do with all of my guests on each episode that we recap is scene stealer of the week. It could be an object, it could be a person. Who do you think was the scene stealer of this week's episode of The Real Houses of Atlanta?
So I was telling you about I love Angela Oakley's one-liners. When Drew came
Hmm.
in, she was like, "Is that LeBear?" And Angela and her one-liners are so funny. Like I don't know, it's just about they're just so quick and you don't expect them. In in the episode at the bank when they were coming out, she was like Black Girl Magic. I don't even know why she said that.
Right.
I was like, why is she saying Black Girl Magic? That has nothing to do with this scene at all. Angela is funny. She's funny. But no, when she says that little bear, I was like, oh, she clocked that bag.
She like that bag.
I like Angela.
uh,
Funny. She's funny.
my scene stealer of this week, I think you gotta go to Bob and Ben. I think Portia. Portia had me cackling
Yeah,
with that
she was
one.
so
Portia had me.
serious. Is it Bob and
Portia
Ben?
definitely. Okay, so another thing that we like to do is bring back that reality star. So
Okay.
now I'm opening up to the reality TV world, not
Okay.
even just the Real Houses of Atlanta. If you
Okay.
had the power And also, you probably do have the power
I
because one thing I've learned about your tweets is that they create change. A lot of people listen. Anyways, if you had the power, one reality star that you can bring back to television.
Oh, one reality TV star that I could bring back to television. Who is somebody that I just enjoy? Oh, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it way, way back. I'm gonna say Keisha Cole's mom, Frankie. Rest in peace, to
Not
Frankie.
from the Keisha Cole show.
Man down. Frankie Lons. If I could bring anybody back to reality TV, it would definitely be Frankie. The short amount of time that Frankie was on my TV, I enjoyed every second of it. I wanted to be Frankie's friend so bad because I knew she was gonna make me laugh all the time. Rest in peace to Frankie. That would be the person I would bring back.
That's so hilarious. That is such a deep cut.
I love Frankie so much. I used to love Keisha Cole's reality TV show. It was so raw and so real and so ghetto, and I loved it.
No, Keisha Cole's show was hilarious.
Yes.
And I love that she had her own show, even though she did join Love and Hip Hop later on. But I did love see her being in television that way first.
Yes, like with just her family, people who have never been on TV a day in their life.
Right,
Just being
right.
They're raw, real, authentic. It was such great TV. I love it.
It was great TV. It was great TV. Well, listen. And just like Drew's court records, this episode is officially unsealed. We had rumors of outside babies, bunk bed battles, birthday party shade, and a pink dog named Chacha.
And a LeBear.
And a LeBear. Portia choosing peace with an asterisk. Britt is back with a vengeance, and Angela might be trying to produce the whole season herself, inviting people up and down to events.
He's the real EP.
Dennis thinks oral doesn't count. Ralph thinks it's funny, and Drew thinks she's related to Michael Jordan. Child, make it make sense. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, one thing for sure, Nashville might have been Cowboy Carter themed, but the only thing Beyonce about this trip is the Act 3 level drama between Portia and not wanting Drew around. But next week, Drew's showing up, so
we're gonna get a show next week.
Be tuned out for that because more mess, more mics, more guests, more reality right after. Castmates, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Reality Right After. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel and our podcast. And Kary, tell them about yourself. I mean, they know. They know. But where can they find you?
Well, I mean, if you already don't follow me, my main social media is Twitter. I'm on Twitter every day, and it's Kary, ITSKARY_. Yeah, that's where you'll see my opinions, my thoughts. I'm a reality TV head. I pretty much watch everything.
That's what I appreciate about you. You watch everything.
Yeah, I literally watch everything. So I'm not just a Bravo Housewives fans. I watch all kind of reality TV because I just love it so much.
And I'm already telling you now, you're one of the only people that watches like Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives and all of those shows. So you might be coming back to reality right after.
Look, if you want to talk about other shows, you can definitely have me on. I'm looking forward to the new season of Basketball Wives.
Me too.
Day one. I've been watching this show since inception. I have fallen in love with these ladies during their good times, bad times. I'm so ready to see Jackie Christie on my TV again. I love her.
Me too. I love Basketball Wives. I think the show's premise is amazing. I think that they have really good potential to be a great show. I think that the production company just really needs to really like involve themselves a little more. We saw that shift in Love and Hip Hop when they moved to MTV. I need something like that. For Basketball Wives. Yes, I need a production company that cares about the success of this show. Yeah. Because I love the show. The potential
to be around for a very long time.
For a very long time. Well, you're definitely going to be back for Basketball Wives.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you so much for being on. Castmates, you already know I love you so much. Follow me on everywhere at Wellington on Air. See you next week. Love you guys. Bye.
Peace.